case you are unaware, there was a video put out by the Gay Agenda that is this song. Now, the clip of that song that we just heard actually makes me think that this is tongue-in-cheek, because a bunch of grown men standing around singing about how they're coming for our children, I would think that at least one of them would go, you know what, this is going to come across as pretty suspect. Maybe we shouldn't put this in the song. But, I mean, there are some really stupid people out there, so maybe this is what they meant. Hello, and welcome to my channel. I am the Anti-Woke Warrior. I challenge all things woke, and this is definitely woke. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. You can find me on Twitter. Hey, check me out over there if you're so inclined. And let's get to the rest of this video.
But you're just frightened. You think that we'll corrupt your kids if our agenda goes unchecked. Funny, just this once, you're correct.
So this is in the beginning of the song, right before it starts. There's a little bit before this about equal rights, which I'll have the video at the full thing at the end. Did you hear what he just said? You think that we'll corrupt your children. Funny, just this once, you're correct. So that says a hell of a lot about homosexuality and the gay agenda. I've been told for decades now, since I was a child, that, hey, you know, gay is not a choice. They seem to be implying with what they said there that gay is a choice. So much for you're born this way. And by the way, you're not born this way. Even Douglas Murray has come out and said, you know, there's more to the story than you're just born this way. And there's more to the story. You make choices in your life. There may be a predisposition that you're born with, but you go all the way in or not. It's up to you. But they're talking about corrupting your children, talking about coming after our children. For what? What is the difference between being homosexual and not being homosexual? Especially when you have a man singing this. There was a big concern back in the 80s, well, even other decades too, but that concern has become less and less over the years, that the gays were actually out to touch kids. And you're singing about converting children, and you're a gay man. And you just said, hey, look, you know, you're against us, but you're correct on this one. We're gonna come get your kids. Do you not have any self-awareness? What is wrong with you people? And furthermore, you're just confirming a lot of suspicions about you, that you just want to do things to little kids. A lot of people out there still think that, and you just proved them right. Good job, Gay Agenda. You people are insane. This woke stuff, this is, I mean, do I know what they're thinking? No. But this is enough for me to be suspicious and go, look, you just want to touch little kids. That's all you want to do. That's what you're trying to do with this. These people. What is wrong with this world? The world is just, I don't even. Anyway, moving on.
At first I didn't get why you'd be so scared of us turning your children into accepting, caring people.
See, this is what you should have started with. This guy saying, hey, you're just trying to turn your kids into accepting people. What you started with was this.
As we celebrate Pride and the progress we've made over these past years, there's still work to be done. So to those of you out there who are still working against equal rights...
Now, you realize that most people don't really care. They don't have time to care. And the people who do care mostly are operating off of their religion. My mother, who's in her 70s, I was talking to her, and she's like, we kind of knew that there were people who were like this, but they weren't out about it, and so they just lived their lives and nobody bothered them. What have you gained with this slippery slope that you've created in all the years? There's an increase in homosexuality. We see that year on year. And you could say, well, it's just because people are more comfortable coming out. They're like willing to come out and say stuff. Now they're willing to be out about, you know, their orientation. They're not afraid. Well, how do you explain the huge spike we've seen in trans then? Those are similar things, right? We always kind of put the LGBTQ asterisk ampersand hashtag together as one group, people that are oppressed. Well, we know that the trans community is growing right now because people are being shown transgenderism and they think that they are that. They're just like, oh, I'm that. That must be what's wrong with me. I'm a transgender. Yeah, that's it. Same thing's happening with the gays. They're being shown, hey, look, you're homosexual, so they are homosexuals and it's a good thing or whatever, and so they're adopting this lifestyle, this point of view. That's the only explanation that I can think of for this that sounds legitimate. I mean, the idea that there's more. Well, why? I mean, if you're doing anonymous surveys, why would that change that much? And then on top of it, we see other things where people are like, oh, I want to do that. This is just human nature. Monkey see, monkey do. Human beings are very good at mimicking others. And there's advantages to being gay. You get oppression points. You don't have to worry about unwanted pregnancy. Moving on.
Oh, and you'll be disgusted when they start finding things online that you've kept far from their sight, like information.
I'm not worried about my children knowing things. What I'm worried about is my children being exposed to adult situations while they're still children, especially when they're being exposed to the types of lifestyle that many homosexual men, especially, adopt, which is heavy on the area of promiscuity. Do you know why the Bible is against homosexuality? I'm not religious. We've covered this before. But these other cultures are against homosexuality, partly because it shows a lack of concern for society and an indulgence that can go unchecked, right? Hedonism. And hedonism is going to be the death of us all. This is what caused the Roman Empire to fall. The reason that's a problem is because, okay, think about it. You can just go out and enjoy sexual pleasure all day long with no consequences, right? That's what you could do. With a man and a woman coming together, there's a high likelihood that eventually the woman will get pregnant, especially when you're talking thousands of years ago when the Bible was being compiled. They didn't know about contraception, right? They didn't really have good means of keeping these things from happening. Well, if you want to have that sexual pleasure, we're two dudes. We don't have to worry about getting pregnant. Let's go. So that's one of the reasons, at least. Maybe that's the only reason. I don't know, because I'm not an anthropologist. And if you are an anthropologist, please correct me in the comments. But that's one of the reasons why this is frowned upon in many traditional religions, and why it should be frowned upon today. At least promiscuity in general. I don't condone promiscuity, right? A lot of these MGTOW guys go around and they talk about just, smash and dash. It's fine. You don't have to worry about it. Make sure you wrap it up with smash and dash. No, that's hedonism. It's not. That doesn't form a healthy society, and that's what I'm all about. I mean, we all have to get along in this world, so let's make the best of it while we can.
Guess what? You'll still be alright. We'll convert your children, yes we will.
Reaching one and all, there's really no escaping it.
'Cause even Grandma likes RuPaul.
Nobody likes RuPaul. Stop it.
Gen Z's gayer than Grindr.
So as I was saying about homosexuality being on the rise, now there's a book that I read not that long ago. It's a well-received science fiction novel called The Forever War. It's about a war that takes hundreds of years to complete because people are traveling deep into space, and so there's time dilation. I didn't really like the book. I don't know why it's so popular, but they turn the Earth gay to keep it from overpopulating. So I guess we can look forward to that, right? All right. So I'm just going to finish out the video here. I don't know what these people want. They already have equal rights. We're not allowed to discriminate against them in any way. We haven't been allowed to for decades, except in the area of marriage. And even in the last decade now, they have the right to marry. So you have everything that you could possibly want, other than, there's people that don't like you because of who you are. Well, hey, there's people don't like me because I'm cis, I'm heteronormative. Those are terms that were made up by you guys to other me. Do you realize that? That's what's happening? Anybody bother to tell you that, like, the heteronormies and the sissies, see how they make that word, the sissies? We are now the bad guys. The gay and the trans, those are the good guys. LGBTQ, #*, ampersand, they're the good guys. And the sissies and the heteros, they're not. But I don't know what you expect. You have all the legal rights that you can get. The rest of this video is going to be the song, the whole thing that I have a copy of. So you can watch the whole thing right now if you want to. You don't have to go look for it on your own. I will also leave a link to it in the comments. And thank you for watching. I do really appreciate everybody stopping by and supporting my channel. Any support I can get is great. Even if it's, if you don't like what I do, you hate watching my videos, hey, I appreciate you coming by. And I will see you all in the next video.
As we celebrate Pride and the progress we've made over these past years, there's still work to be done. So to those of you out there who are still working against equal rights, we have a message for you. You think we're sinful? You fight against our rights. You say we all lead lives you can't respect. but you're just frightened. You think that we'll corrupt your kids if our agenda goes unchecked. Funny, just this once, you're correct. We'll convert your children. Happens bit by bit, quietly and subtly, and you will barely notice it. You can keep them from disco, warn about San Francisco. Make him wear pleated pants, we don't care. We'll convert your children. We'll make them tolerant and fair.
At first I didn't get why you'd be so scared of us turning your children into accepting, caring people, but I see now why you'd have a problem with that.
Just like you worried, they'll change their group of friends. You won't approve of where they go at night to protest. Oh, and you'll be disgusted so gross when they start finding things online that you've kept far from their sight, like information. Guess what? You'll still be alright. We'll convert your children, yes we will.
Reaching one and all, there's really no escaping it.
'Cause even grandma likes RuPaul,
And the world's getting kinder.
Gen Z's gayer than Grindr. Learn to love, learn to vogue, face your fate. We'll convert your children. Someone's gotta teach them not to hate. We're coming for them.
We're coming for your children.
We're coming for them. We're coming for your children. We're coming for them.
Your children will care about fairness and justice for others. Your children will work to convert all their sisters and brothers. Then soon we're almost certain your kids will start converting you. The gay agenda is coming home. The gay agenda is here. But you don't have to worry. Cause there's nothing wrong with standing by our side. Get on board and get a hurry. Because the world always needs a bit more pride. No, you don't